We have some hot seats. We got some even hotter seats. And then we got one that is burnt to a crisp. And soon there will be more. And Branch, what are you doing? We're through 6 weeks in the NFL. It's time for RUTS foreplay. 4 downs, 4 takes, the whole week wrapped up into 4 downs. Let's run it up. Here we go. First down. The seats are getting hot in the NFL. And what I mean by that is there's some head coaches out there that are going to be losing some jobs soon or hopefully soon. And we already had one burned to a crisp. That was Brian Callahan with the Titans. Brian Callahan gets the axe after a year and 6 weeks, basically. Brian Callahan goes 4-19 as a Tennessee Titans head coach. He's the first one to go down. And who do we have that are hot, that are real hot? I made a list. Aaron Glenn. I'm not a big fan of firing a coach without finishing a year A or even just firing him after 1 year. But what he did in the game in London Sunday morning, going into halftime, was mind-boggling. I still don't know what he was trying to do. If you can't believe in your defense that much that you're willing to fake a punt and then after you get the first down to just basically run out the clock, right there tells you you don't believe in your offense and you don't believe in your defense. So what are you doing? And that has to fall back on Aaron Glenn. So as I said, I'm not a big fan of firing a head coach that quickly, but he might be the one that I would let happen. We also got Matt Eberflus. Can we actually say that a defensive coordinator or just a coordinator as a whole is on the hot seat? I guess we can, but in my eyes, it's going to be. Matt Eberflus deserves to be fired. Period. I get it. Listen, you have your own scheme. That's what you do best, whatever. But when you come to a team and your personnel does not match your scheme, something has to change. Whether that be, the hiring process in the first place, to know that, hey, he runs 95% zone plays, and your defense and the players that you have on defense do better and flourish better in man coverage. Well, then what is it? Are you not going to hire that guy, or are we going to change something up? Neither of that has happened with the Dallas Cowboys. And they're literally letting anybody run the ball, pass the ball, do anything with the ball on offense. So yes, Matt Eberflus deserves to be on the hot seat, whether he's a coordinator or not. I don't care. Hot seat, burn it down, send him out of town. Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel needs to go. The Dolphins are a joke. And it's funny because, I've been hearing it lately and it really makes sense. When the Dolphins were winning, the tight pants, the high waters, the glasses, that cool kind of swagger, I guess you could say, that he had, and the humor that he had, it was funny. It was cool. It was something that, changed it up from the whole seriousness of the NFL. And it was a breath of fresh air. But that was when the Dolphins were winning. The Dolphins are not winning, and now you look like a clown. And it's just funny how that works, that when you're not winning, you look like a clown. So yes, Mike McDaniel, the clown, needs to be shipped out of town. Kevin Stefanski. Listen, he's got one of the best defenses in the league, but he cannot get it going on offense with anybody. Dylan Gabriel, 52 pass attempts. Not going to work. Not going to work for the Cleveland Browns, and to only score 9 points, that's not going to work either. So yes, Kevin Stefanski probably needs to be shipped out of town. Now this is a surprising one. All right, before we move on, go to 500level.com and use promo code RUTS30 for 30% off. That's RUTS 30 for 30% off site-wide. You get t-shirts, something like this. Player Association licensed gear. If you're a sports fan, you need to go to 500level.com and use promo code RUTS30. Live like a legend. Let's go. That I don't know if anybody really agrees with me, but I've been feeling this for the last 2 or 3 years. John Harbaugh. I get it. He's done very well in his tenure with the Baltimore Ravens, but when are we too far gone? Because they haven't won a big game in a very long time. And honestly, this might be the time to move on from him. You're 1-5 now, and nothing's really working. You don't look that great as a team. I think it's time. This is your get out of jail free card to ship him out, get him out of here, and move on. So yes, I think John Harbaugh is on the hot seat, and I would not be surprised, or I wouldn't hate that he gets fired from the Baltimore Ravens. And Zach Taylor is the last one that I feel is on the hot seat. If you have any other head coach that you think should be on the hot seat, let me know. I'll talk about him next week. Is Zach Taylor on the hot seat? From what he's given, obviously you're missing your number one quarterback and one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Yes, it's tough. And what they're putting out there, you had Jake Browning, and now you had Joe Flacco, who can't move with one of the worst offensive lines in the league. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's time for Zach Taylor to go. I think what's going on now is just the GM and everything. Like, the whole process of creating this roster is just terrible. I mean, get the guy an offensive line. The guy's been there for how long? Get him an offensive line. He can't stay healthy. Come on.